Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're journeying back in time to the breathtaking canyons of the American Southwest. Picture this: massive, multi-story cities carved directly into sheer cliff faces. These aren't fantasy castles. They're the real-life homes of the ancestral Puebloans, and they pose a mystery that still baffles engineers today. How on earth did they build these incredible structures 1,000 years ago? And why can't we easily replicate them even with all our modern technology? Let's dig in. First, let's get our bearings. We were talking about a civilization that thrived from around 100 to 1600 AD in the Four Corners region, that is, where Utah, Arizona, Colorado, and New Mexico meet. You've probably heard of places like Mesa Verde, Chaco Canyon, and Canyon de Chelly. These aren't just a few scattered huts. They're complex urban centers with hundreds of rooms, ceremonial kivas, and towering walls, all perched hundreds of feet up a cliff. So, how did they do it? The first piece of the puzzle is their incredible mastery of stonemasonry. The Puebloans didn't have metal tools like we do. They worked with stone axes, hammers, and wooden tools to quarry and shape sandstone blocks. They were experts at finding the natural fracture lines in the rock, allowing them to split off surprisingly uniform blocks. They would then meticulously peck and grind these stones to fit together perfectly, almost like a jigsaw puzzle. The mortars they used wasn't modern cement. It was a mix of mud, water, and sometimes ash, which has proven astonishingly durable. But getting the stones is one thing. How did they get them up there? This is where the real mystery begins. We're talking about hauling thousands of tons of stone, wood, and water up vertical cliff faces. Modern construction would use cranes, helicopters, and massive scaffolding. The Puebloans had none of that. Archaeologists believe they used a combination of brute force, clever engineering, and an intimate knowledge of the landscape. They likely built intricate systems of log scaffolding, ladders, and ropes made from yucca fibers. They also carved handanto holds directly into the cliff face. You can still see these smoky steps today. Imagine climbing these tiny notches with a heavy stone block strapped to your back. It's a terrifying thought, but it speaks volumes about their physical strength and courage. It wasn't one person's job. It was a massive community effort, with hundreds of people working in concert over generations. Think about the sheer planning involved. Before a single stone was laid, they had to be brilliant architects. They aligned their buildings with the sun for passive heating and cooling. In winter, the low sun would shine into the alcoves, warming the stone, which would radiate heat all night. In summer, the high sun would be blocked by the cliff overhang, keeping the dwellings cool. They weren't just building shelters. They were creating perfectly adapted, energy-efficient homes long before the term green building even existed. And the construction was incredibly precise. The walls are often a composite structure with a rubble and mortar core faced with those beautifully fitted stones. This made the walls thick, stable, and great for insulation. The roofs were made from massive wooden beams called which had to be harvested from forests miles away and then hauled to the site. How did they transport 20-foot-long half-ton beams without wheels or pack animals? It's another puzzle, but theories suggest they were carried by large teams, possibly using rollers or sledges over long distances. So, why can't we do this today? Well, technically, we could. With enough money, helicopters, and high-tech equipment, we could probably build a replica. But that's the key: we'd be cheating. The real question is, could we do it the way they did it? The answer is a resounding no. First, the cost would be astronomical. The manual labor alone, without power tools, would take millions of men. We'd have to train stonemasons in ancient techniques. And the safety regulations for working on sheer cliffs without modern harnesses would make any project manager's head spin. OSHA would have a field day. But more importantly, we've lost the underlying cultural context. These cities weren't just construction projects. They were a spiritual and communal endeavor. Every member of the community had a role, and the work was likely integrated with ceremony and tradition. They weren't just building a house. They were building their world, a physical manifestation of their relationship with the earth and the cosmos. That's a motivation that a modern construction contract simply can't replicate. Their knowledge was passed down through generations. A living library of environmental science, engineering, and architecture. We don't have that direct, unbroken line of knowledge anymore. We can study it and admire it, but we can't truly inhabit it. So, when you look at the silent cities of Mesa Verde, you're not just seeing old ruins. You're seeing a testament to human ingenuity, community, and a deep connection to the natural world. They stand as a powerful reminder that advanced technology isn't just about computers and steel. Sometimes, the most advanced technology is a deep understanding of your environment, a strong community, and the sheer will to create something extraordinary against all odds. What do you think's the most impressive part of these cliff dwellings? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching and for joining me on this journey into the past. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more deep dives into the mysteries of history. Until next time, stay curious.